And we are coming to you live from an undisclosed location, highly secretive, very fortified, undisclosed location, somewhere deep in the heart of American flyover country, North American flyover country to be exact. Yes, we are under the radar, but always, ladies and gentlemen, over the top. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. And I've got some good stuff for you here today. And I say it all the time, and some of you probably don't believe it, but it's true anyhow. Some of the greatest ideas that I get for podcast excellence comes from the audience. We're almost at 36,000. I think that some reason my screen is off here. Let's remedy that. Boop. Okay. So we're almost at 36,000, ladies and gentlemen. And we're on a roll, and I'm looking forward to continuing this roll. I want to thank you for it. But some of the best information I get comes from the audience. And someone said to me in a comment, I think it was yesterday, have you called a call for an uprising? And I had not checked out this YouTube site called a call for an uprising. And somebody said this guy is a Christian truther and he's all fear, he's all guilt. Porn, fear porn. Anyway, so I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, he is. But you know what? I'm just not going to do all this. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to go after him. But after looking at a few of his videos, one in particular caught my attention. And he was talking about Tom Brady and he was talking about GOAT. And I decided, you know what? I need to break this down and break this out because it's so emblematic of so much of the lies, the fear, the guilt, the control that we are fighting against as we try to get people to wake up and realize that modern day Christianity is a fear and guilt control matrix. And if you're here watching from Call for an Uprising channel, if you're here watching new, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to get you to think for yourself. And I was 20 years a Protestant minister. I have a Bible college degree. I spent over 100,000 hours in biblical study. And Maria Becco says she loves Call for an Uprising. Maria, are you smoking crack? I just got to ask that because how can you love it? It's fear, it's guilt, it's control, it's fear porn. He's a porn star. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you can like him, but damn, girl, what are you thinking? Rocky Stucci enters the chat room. And tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Rocky Stucci will be joining Scotty Roberts and I on the Consequential Rapscallions. And tomorrow, I believe, or the day after, one of those days real soon, I'm going to be back on the Situation Room with Rocky Stucci talking about UFOs in the Bible. Now, let me say, first of all, I am not a New England Patriots fan. In fact, I'm not even really a football fan. I used to be a huge sports fan, used to watch football, season tickets to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for their first 10 or 11 years. But I just got out of the whole sports thing. I might watch the Buccaneers every now and then, but you usually, if you're a Buccaneers fan, you only watch them for a couple minutes because they're really, really bad. So I'm not a Buccaneers fan. I'm not a football fan. I'm not a New England Patriots fan. I haven't watched the Super Bowl since I can remember. I don't really care. And I didn't know much about Tom Brady either. I mean, I knew he's a winner, 6 Super Bowls. I know a lot of people don't like him, but a lot of people don't like winners because a lot of people aren't winners and they feel jealous. But after doing this little bit of study about Brady, I'm like, dude, Brady's legit, as Tracy Dyer says she hates him. But I'm telling you, he's legit. And Shane brought this up. Let me go ahead and start with this. It's not in my notes to start here, but one of the problems that and another thing I don't like about this call for an uprising, not only is he a porn star, he majors in fear porn, so he's making his money being a porn star. But I've looked and searched, I can't find out who he is. And it always bothers me when somebody doesn't have the testicular fortitude to tell you who they are or to show you who they are. It's very, very easy to sit back in anonymity and hurl Molotov cocktails and tell about how bad everybody is and how rotten everybody is and how horrible everybody is and how everything's scary and it's fear and it's guilt and it's control. And it's really easy to do that when you don't have to face anybody. So I get that's another problem I have just from the beginning. He's anonymous. I think that's cowardly. He's anonymous. I think that shows a lack of testicular fortitude. I really do. Yeah, I think it's cowardly. I can't think of a better word for it. It's cowardly. And he says that it's a goat. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand he's a fear porn star. You have to understand that GOAT means greatest of all time. Tom Brady, they don't call Tom Brady a GOAT because they think he's a GOAT. It's an acronym, ladies and gentlemen. Greatest of all time. And when you've won 6 Super Bowls, there's no doubt he's the greatest NFL player of all time. And there's a good argument that he might be the greatest sports figure of all time. I think the only one that would really be able to compete with him would be Michael Jordan. But again, this isn't about sports. This is about Tom Brady, the GOAT, the power of intention and fear. And this is a reaction video to the Call for an Uprising channel. And I'm going to be showing you the Call for an Uprising channel's video entitled NFL Satanist GOAT. Tom Brady admits that his wife is a real witch. Satanist GOAT Tom Brady admits that his wife is a real witch. So we're going to go ahead and roll this video. And this might be a little bit of a longer video. And I'm going to go through it bit by bit. And I hope you're going to be able to hear it. I've got my volumes turned up all the way in both places, let me just say. And let me say, since this guy is cowardly and since this guy is anonymous, let me just make sure that I make a disclosure statement that under fair use, we are able to use portions of videos and we're able to use it for parody, which I'll be doing much of. We're able to use it for reporting, which I'll be doing much of. And we're able to do it for, somebody put a funny in the thing and lost me. Bill Russell, that's a good argument too. And we're able to do it for reporting. We're able to do it for parody. And we're able to do that without violating copyright. And I'm giving full credit to a Call for an Uprising channel. And this is his content. And I will be merely making a reaction video commenting on his video that he did on Tom Brady entitled NFL Satanist GOAT. Tom Brady admits that his wife is a real witch. And of course, his wife is her name's Giselle. What do you say? Is it Bündchen or whatever? Great, not actress, but model. And she retired to devote herself to the family and her children. So anyway, what we're going to open up with is this is at the Super Bowl. You know, some of the festivities before and the week before the Super Bowl. And Gillette's one of the big sponsors of the Patriots. The Patriots play in Gillette Stadium, all those things. And don't start with the tranny crap. I will bounce you in a hot second. This is not about that, and that's stupid. Don't start with it. Please, moderators, if anybody goes down that road, immediate 30-second, immediate 90-second timeout. And if they try it again, immediate hide user on this channel, please. And thank you so very much. So we need to be polite. And that's just off limits. I'm just not going to let that go because I just think I'm just not going to let it go. No tranny talk because it's stupid. Did I say stupid? Well, you know what I mean. So anyway, we're going to roll this and I want to show you this video and I want you to listen. Aurora Rain, you're this freaking close. I'm trying to be nice. You're that close. Can you tell I'm a little passionate about this subject? Okay, I'm not going to go down that road. I really need to have somebody on that can talk about that, because not everybody that people say is a transgender is a transgender. And I'll tell you what, if Giselle is transgendered, I might be bisexual because she looks good to me. So shut up. As Rocky Stucci would say, shut up. And if Tom Brady were married to a transsexual, that's Tom Brady's business, not yours. And there's a lot of people that have gone through, have become, have had that struggle. I don't know what they go through, so I don't care. And it's not affecting me if Tom Brady was married to a transsexual, which he's not. Now, we've already wasted way too much time on that. So let's go in and let's listen to Tom Brady talk about his beautiful female wife and see what he has to say about her. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that we'll be able to hear it because it's cranked up. And this is a reaction video to Call for an Uprising. And I agree with Renaissance Woman. What's wrong with being a witch, especially when you're as beautiful as Giselle? So anyway, here we go. Let's say, and if you can't hear it, I will tell you what he's saying, and just tell me in the chat room if you are able to hear it. So here he is. He's getting a shave. And, if he was a jerk, he would just lay there and not say anything. He's just, he's not getting paid for this. This is something they have to do by the NFL rules. So he's just chilling. But instead of being a jerk, he's being a nice guy and he's talking. So let's listen. And I'll play a little bit of it, and you can tell me if you can hear it. And if not, I'll just have to tell you what he's saying. But you'll be able to hear the anonymous, cowardly, lack of testicular fortitude host of the channel. Here's Tom Brady. So I don't know if you can hear that or not, but Brady's talking about his wife, and he says, she's so about the power of intention, She's so about the power of intention, That's what Tom Brady just said. So he's talking about the power of intention. Tom Brady's talking about the power of intention. And if you can't hear it, you'll be able to hear the host. You may not be able to hear Brady, but he just said, my wife is all about the power of intention. And we're going to continue on. And believing things that are really going to happen, he said. And she always makes a little altar for me at the game. So Tom Brady says that his wife helps him by being very strong with her intention, and she always makes a little altar for him at the game. She just wills it so much. And she puts together an altar for him that he can bring with him pictures of his kids, healing stones, crystals, and she wills it, ladies and gentlemen. She uses intention. She uses focus. She uses will, pictures of his kids, crystals. She puts some protection stones on a necklace for him. What a good woman. I mean, that almost brings a tear to my eye. She loves the guy. She makes these drops that she makes him take. Clearly she's probably speaking her will and intention over water drops, and she puts them in a bottle and has her husband take these drops. Let's continue to listen. She has him say all these mantras. He stopped questioning her a long time ago, about 6 Super Bowl victories ago, ladies and gentlemen. He said, I just shut up and listened. At first, he thought it was crazy. And about 4 years ago, he decided to start listening to her. So she said it's going to be a tough year, the year they beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. And he said, she told him you have to do everything I say. And he did it and it worked. And then he goes on to talk about next year that she told him it wasn't their year and they didn't win. This is not your year. And he's like, well, what does the next year look like? And she said, that one's going to be your year. And it was. And he asked her about this year. She said, yeah, this will be a good year, but you got to do a lot of work. You really got to listen to me. So he says, man, I listened to her. And she told him, look, you do your work, I do mine. And then here's the thing that really set off the anonymous, gutless, low T host of this channel. Brady says, you're lucky you're married to a good witch, is what his wife told him. And he's obviously joking, ladies and gentlemen. So let's set this up. NFL Satanist goat Tom Brady admits his wife is a real witch. So Tom Brady's admitted that his wife is all about the power of intention. Tom Brady is admitting that his wife is making him a vision board and a vision altar to focus his intention, to focus the power of his will. Tom Brady, Satanist goat, Tom Brady with the witch wife is admitting that he's got pictures of his kids. He's got crystals. He's got a necklace. He's got mantras that he repeats. And he's got even the audacity to have drops of his wife's stated intention that he will put into his mouth and drink. Tom Brady, Satanist goat, is doing what his wife says, and he's won 6 Super Bowls. Did I mention he's 41 years old and he's excelling beyond all of these other guys? And I remember on The Last Stand, Jay was like, there's got to be something going wrong. There's no way Tom can be that successful at that age. There is something going on. Anybody can train their body, but very, very few can train their mind. And very, very few have the incredible pleasure of having a woman or a mate with them that knows these secrets and joins his powerful will and intention and her powerful will of intention. And they're having sex too. And I guarantee you, Giselle, not only sexing him up, just in a good physical way, she's doing some intention through their sexuality. And the guy's killing it. Now, I don't like the Patriots. I'm starting to like Tom Brady the more I talk about him. But, dude, these guys clearly know what's going on. The power of will, the power of intention. And he is married to a good witch. What we have here is a thoroughly likable winner in Tom Brady. Crazy in love with his wife and kids. It tears me up a little bit. And this is not a winner, ladies and gentlemen. This is the winner. He's the best of the best. And he's certainly guilty of being a winner. And he's certainly guilty of being in love with his wife. And she's certainly guilty of being in love with him. And they're certainly guilty of focusing the power of their will and their intention. And how has Tom Brady done it? With hard work. Hard work. Robert, you're stupid. Hard work. What does TB12, that's what they call him, it's his nickname. What does TB12 have that's different? He probably works harder than anybody else, but there's a lot of players in the NFL that work hard. What does TB12 have that's different? He's got the mental game going, He's got the intention. He's got the will. He's got the focus. And he's got the love of his wife helping to empower him. And she's putting that sacred sexual magic on him too. That's why the guy is the best. Plus, he's got the best diet going on. He's got the best training methodology going on. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. But the anonymous, cowardly host of a call for an uprising that won't identify himself feels differently. Now, if we're going to say about winners, we're going to say about people that are good, the guy has over 400,000 subscribers. So you've got to give him props for building a big channel. I remember Jimmy Swaggart one time told me there's two ways to build the biggest church in town. Number one is to serve more people than anybody else. And the other one is to tear down everybody else's church. So yours is the only one that is still standing. But in the YouTube world, there's a different way to do it. You can scare the hell out of a lot of people, or you can help people empower themselves. We got 40. He got 400. But we will not go down the fear route. We will not go down the guilt route. We will not go down the control route. If we have 4 subscribers, we will be for divinity, for sovereignty, for freedom. We will be for people learning. We will be for unindoctrinating ourselves. If it's only us 4 and no more, that's great. I will never sell out for numbers. Never, ever. And it's probably costing us. And you probably say, Jeff, if you would just not do that, you'd have double the subscribers. It's probably true, but we're not going to stop. So let's go now and start listening to the host. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to hear the host. Let me know if you can hear him or not as soon as I cue him up and play him. If not, I can tell you what he's saying, but I think you'll be able to hear him.
Absolutely. And everybody laughs, right? All the puppets in the crowd, they laugh. They think it's a big joke. Just another one of these people, right? Connected to witchcraft. Even admitting to having an altar.
Okay, so connected to witchcraft. What does that even mean? He just said that, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but he just said that Tom Brady is connected to witchcraft. What does that even mean, ladies and gentlemen? By what he just described Tom Brady is doing and what Tom Brady just described him doing, how is that connected to witchcraft? Let me call your attention to a couple of verses from the scriptures, ladies and gentlemen. How about Proverbs 23:7? Proverbs 23:7, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to hear this. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Do you hear that? As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I'm going to break this verse down for you. And you're supposed to be a Christian, anonymous, no name, afraid to show your face, call for an uprising. I'll break this down for you because you're supposed to be a Christian, but I'll guarantee you, you've never looked at the scriptures like this. And I'll share this with you. I got a couple screens going. Let's see if I can share this first screen with you as well so you can see this too. Okay, so let's get rid of that. As a man thinks, ladies and gentlemen, this is right from the Greek. As a man thinks, as he calculates, as he reckons, as he thinks within himself, as he thinks in his heart. Don't you think that's what Giselle's doing? She's calculating, she's reckoning. And don't you think Tom is calculating and reckoning within his own mind? He said he is. He quit arguing with her. For as he thinks, as he calculates, as he reckons in his heart, and this is not from Giselle Bundchen or Giselle Brady. This is from the Old Testament book of Proverbs. As a person thinks within their soul, within their living, within their life, within their person, within their desire, within their passion, within their appetites, within their emotion, as a person thinks and reasons within all of this stuff, which is exactly what Brady and his lovely wife are doing, so is he. So is he. If you eat it and you drink it and it's in your heart, it manifests. Don't you know Tom Brady eats and drinks NFL football? Don't you know Tom Brady eats and drinks what his wife is feeding him literally and in this spiritual realm? And the anonymous, cowardly host of A Call for an Uprising says it's bad, and the writer of the Proverbs says exactly what Tom Brady is doing is the way it's supposed to be. As you think and reason and calculate in your passions, boom, it's going to manifest into your life. I'm going to try to close some of these windows so we don't get them slowing us down. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen, to find myself again. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I just lost all my stuff. Oh, no. Well, I was going to go to Proverbs 18:21. So you always need to have a backup plan, especially when you're a YouTuber and especially when you are not that skillful in using multiple windows. You always have to have a backup plan. And I thankfully got a backup plan, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll give you what I got, and I am totally lost now. But Proverbs 18:21 says life. And if I could show you the screen, you would see that it means health, virtue, success, virility, life. And however you define it, Tom Brady's living the life, cousins. Life is in life and death, ladies and gentlemen. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. So the anonymous, cowardly host of this channel says that Tom Brady and his wife are connected to witchcraft. But as we read in the scriptures, it looks like Tom Brady and his wife are connected to Christcraft. It looks like they're doing exactly what the message of the Christ said. They're following the book of Proverbs to the T. What does the cowardly anonymous host of, what's it called again, A Call for an Uprising, have to say to that? I wonder, ladies and gentlemen. And then he said, oh my God, they've got an altar. Giselle builds her husband an altar, a little altar. You know, it's little. It's got the pictures and it's got stones. Some of you have them. But they've got an altar, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask you something, my friends? Those of you that are here for the first time, those of you here for many times, and I can't say anything now except the video that I'm going to be playing for you. What does every single church you've ever been in have common? Every church, whether it's a Catholic church, whether it's Roman Catholic Church, Roman Protestant Church, independent, whatever. What do all churches have? They all have altars. So it's okay for churches to have altars, but it's not okay for Giselle to build Tom an altar according to the dictates of the book of Proverbs to help focus his will, his intention, and help him win 6 freaking Super Bowls. See, you people that are still following the fear and guilt control matrix, you people that are still following the Christian way, you are worshiping at an altar of intention. It's just somebody else's intention. You are focusing on a will. It's just somebody else's will. You even say it, not my will be done, thy will be done. Who's the thy whose will you're doing, and why aren't you doing your own? And how's it working for you, cousin? They've got an altar. So does every church. And let's go here to verse 2. I'm going to take you down to 244 with our anonymous cowardly host and see what he has to say there. Yeah, we're just getting started.
Surprised. So he admits to having an altar. He admits to his wife being a witch, a good witch. Well, I've got news for you. There's no such thing as a good witch. All witches are scum.
Wow, did you hear that? He admits to having an altar. He admits that his wife is a witch. And this anonymous pipsqueak that won't show his face has news for us. All witches are scum. And all magic is bad. And we've just shown from the scriptures themselves that what Giselle's doing, what Tom's doing, is absolutely thoroughly scripturally based. Let me ask you, anonymous pipsqueak, afraid to show your face host of A Call for an Uprising, what would you call what happened in John chapter 2, where a guy named Jesus, you may have heard of, turned water into wine? Was that magic? How about in John chapter 6, where he took a few fish and a couple loaves and fed 5,000 men, women and children, beside probably 15,000 people? Was that magic? How about when Lazarus was 3 days dead, stinking? And Jesus said, yo, bro, get up out of the grave. Was that magic? Yeah, that was magic. And how did Jesus do it? By focusing his intention, according to Psalm, or the Proverbs like we just read, Proverbs 23:7, Proverbs 18:21. He says that the Bible forbids magic. Oh, does it? Maybe the Bible, maybe your God forbids, but the book of Proverbs don't forbid. The book of Proverbs prescribes how to do it. Maybe your God forbids it, but the Christ didn't forbid it. He did it, cousin. He turned water into wine. Magic. He fed 20,000 people with a few fish and a loaf. Magic. He raised people from the dead. Magical. That's a miracle. Miracles are magic in the eyes of religious people. It was magic. Straight up mad. Well, that's just Jesus. Only Jesus can do that magic. Oh, I mean miracles. Really? Because I seem to remember Jesus saying, all the stuff I do, you can do, and even greater things. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you see that Christianity is selling you a fear and guilt control matrix? Don't you see they don't want you using your own will, using your own intention, using your own power, because they don't want you to be empowered. They want you to be enslaved. Do what we say. Go where we go. And if you don't believe us and do everything we say, we're going to throw you in this place called hell that doesn't exist. This is why this anonymous, cowardly host of this channel hates Tom Brady and his wife. This is why this anonymous, cowardly host that follows this fear and guilt control religion doesn't want you to partake in this, because they don't want you to be set free. Because then he won't be able to make money off of you anymore coming to his channel. And trust me, cousins, this guy's making 6 figures plus off his channel. I know. And some of them, like Rex, earn it. This guy is the, come on, help me think of a porn star's name. Ron Jeremy of YouTube. He's a porn star, a fear porn star, and he's the worst kind of fear porn star because he's trying to keep you from realizing your personal power, your personal divinity, your personal sovereignty, your personal freedom, and he's trying to keep you inside a fear and guilt control matrix so he can continue to get paid. And he doesn't even have the guts to face you as he sells you down the river, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, scum. Scum. All witches are scum. You know what I think is scum? I think of 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse number 7, that says, the divine has not given us a spirit of fear. And I think anybody that gives us a spirit of fear is scum. But instead has given us, I got to click my memory. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of grace, and of a sound mind. What is Giselle doing? What is Tom Brady doing? Other than, according to the book of Proverbs, developing, I got to play it again, not giving us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of power and of grace and of a sound mind. That's exactly what they're doing. And this arrogant, anonymous, cowardly little man who won't face you is afraid that you'll find out the truth, and that's why he hides. That's why he hides. Now, damn it, I'm not going to be able to show you this, but because I'm all lost here in my stuff. But he, over here in 3:14, let's listen to this. I hope you can hear it, and I'll tell you exactly what he's saying if you can't.
Coincidence too. So we have him referring to himself as the GOAT.
He just said that Tom Brady refers to himself as the GOAT. First of all, the GOAT just means the greatest of all time. And I have a video here, and I can't find where I am. I wish somebody was here to help me, because I have lost all of my windows, and where they usually are, I just can't find them, and I'm just lost. That's okay. It happens, but we'll be okay. But I had a great video of Tom Brady being interviewed by Michael Strahan in front of Disney World, because the MVP of the Super Bowl goes to Disney World. And this guy, the anonymous, gutless host of A Call for an Uprising, says that Tom Brady refers to himself as the GOAT. That's a lie. In this interview, Michael Strahan, who's also a Super Bowl champion, says to Tom, you know you're the GOAT, right? You're the GOAT. And reaches out to give him a fist bump. And Tom is like, no, man, I cringe when I hear that. That's what Tom Brady said. Tom Brady does not, you lying, anonymous little pipsqueak, refer to himself as the GOAT. And I'm not defending Tom Brady. I'm coming after you, you anonymous, gutless coward. Tom Brady did not say, I'm the GOAT. Tom Brady doesn't refer to himself as the GOAT. Quite the contrary, you liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire, but you're probably not wearing pants because you're probably in your mom's basement and don't have a job. He said, it makes me cringe to hear that. And then Brady went on to say, I'd rather have you say I'm too old, I'm too slow, and I can't do it anymore, because that motivates me. So if you're going to say something bad about a guy, say something bad about a guy, but don't put words in his mouth. Don't lie. But from looking at your channel, I can tell that you've lied so much that it's become so much of a habit that you can't help yourself. You probably don't. You probably got to get somebody else to call your dog because your dog thinks that you're lying and aren't going to let him in. And this is classic, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can hear this, but listen to this.
The other coach is 33 years old. During the post-game interviews, they decided to leave the number 36 on the clock in the background, right? The 36 or 666. All this stuff must just be a huge coincidence. And all of these people admitting to being witches. So
he's talking about the number 33, the number 6. It was the 6th Super Bowl. It was the 6th. Is he using numerology? Is the Bible says we can't use witchcraft actually alluding to numerology to make his point? So not only is he a liar, he's a hypocrite. And 400,000 plus of you don't see it. I don't get it. Well, Jeff, you're just jealous of his channel. A little bit. I got to be honest with you. 400,000. All I got to do is lie a little. All I got to do is cheat a little. All I got to do is compromise a little. Could you imagine? Christian whistleblower comes back to Christianity. We'd be 500,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but it ain't going to happen. There's a little thing called integrity. You can Google that, anonymous host of A Call for an Uprising, figure out what it means. And let's go to verse, and let's let this run for a little bit here.
Articles coming out from Yahoo talking about how witchcraft is on the rise, how more and more people are turning to becoming witches than they are to becoming Christian.
Boom, there's the key. More and more people are becoming witches than are becoming Christians. That's the key to this whole thing. They're afraid. He's afraid. Mr. Anonymous, Mr. Gutless is afraid he's going to lose his big channel because all these Christian people are going bye-bye. The Christians are afraid they're going to lose their power, and they are. We're coming for you. We're the last generation of real humans. We're the next generation of new gods, and we're coming for you. The God of the Bible is about to be deposed and replaced by a God that knows what he's doing. And if you think I'm being blasphemous again, not only do you not understand the book of Proverbs clearly, not only do you not understand the works of Jesus clearly, but you also don't understand Psalm 82. And I'll leave it to you good Christians to go look that up and read it on your own, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go and listen to a little more of this rant from the anonymous gutless host of this channel.
You know, healing rocks and, altars. I think
altars. Every church has got one. Healing rocks. What did Jesus have to say about healing rocks? Well, in Luke 19:40, Jesus said, listen, if you guys don't honor me, these rocks will cry out themselves. Jesus not only had healing rocks, he had talking rocks. It was rock talk, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't think those rocks really would have talked, those rocks were praising. Oh, boom, revelation. Jesus wasn't saying it doesn't matter. It wasn't saying if you don't worship that these rocks, well, what he was saying was, I don't care if you're worshiping or not. Because these rocks already are. Those rocks are alive. They have consciousness. They have vibration. Those rocks were vibrating. Oh, yeah, this dude's got this. This is the dude that does the deed. This is the dude that's got it going on. The rocks were already praising him. That's what that verse really means. Every church has an altar, cousin. You're allowed to have altars, and other people are not. And then let's get to verse. Let's go over verse. Let's go over here to 526 and listen to this part of his rant. Clearly the guy is a Satanist. No one's mentioned Satan except for the gutless anonymous host of A Call for an Uprising. Nobody mentioned Satan. Nobody mentioned Satan. Let's regroup for a minute. What we've mentioned is living according to the book of Proverbs, that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he, that life and death is in the power of the tongue, following in the works of Jesus. That's what we're talking about. But he equates this to Satan. Why? Because they don't want you to start doing what Tom Brady does. They don't want you to start doing what Giselle does. They don't want you to be divine. They don't want you to be sovereign. They don't want you to be free. They want you to believe you've got the original sin within, when that's a lie, and you've got the spark of divinity within. They don't want you divine, sovereign, and free. They want you subscribing to me, and this is Mr. Anonymous speaking, and they want you showing up at their church, paying your tithes, paying your offering, doing everything you do, scared to death you're going to go to a devil's hell if you don't do enough. They want to say jump, and they want you to say how high. And how high do you got to be to continue to believe this crap from an anonymous coward? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A little more. I wish I hadn't lost my other videos. I'd love to hear what's going on in the chat room right now.
This isn't just them admitting this stuff. This is how they indoctrinate people out there. Who are the ones who idolize this?
Oh, yeah, listen to this. This is great. Listen to this.
Lots of people. You'd be surprised how many people idolize athletes.
I don't know if you can hear this or not, but he's saying this is how they indoctrinate people. Wait a second. Indoctrinate by teaching people they're divine, they're sovereign, they're free. Indoctrinate people by telling them that they can focus their will and their intention to produce great results. Indoctrinate people by telling them to find someone that loves them that they can merge their intention with. That's indoctrinating? No, that's freeing. That's unindoctrinating. That's what I do. Unindoctrinate yourself. Giselle's about unindoctrinate yourself. Brady's about unindoctrinate yourself. We're about unindoctrinate yourself. What's indoctrinating is do what we say, when we say it, how we say it, and don't think on your own. And we're going to get to that as we get ready to close out here before too long. Yeah, Brady's trying to indoctrinate people. He's trying to indoctrinate people with the message of how you can be positive. He's trying to indoctrinate people with the message of how you can help yourself. He's trying to indoctrinate people with the message of success. Would you rather be indoctrinated with Giselle Bündchen, Tom Brady, positivity, help, and success, or would you rather be indoctrinated with anonymous, coward, a call for an uprising, fear porn, the Ron Jeremy of YouTube, fear porn, trying to scare you away from being divine, being sovereign, and being free? The real key is a fear of loss. They know Christianity's done. And how is a mantra different from a prayer? A mantra is something you say to remind yourself and to get yourself focused. A prayer is giving your power to somebody else. And then he says something else here I want you to hear.
I want to be like them and think of them as heroes. How many young kids walking around with Tom Brady jerseys on? And they're going to go, well, Tom Brady was successful. You know, he's got an altar and he's using stones and necklaces that his wife makes and he's doing mantras. Then you're going to have kids doing mantras.
Wouldn't that be horrible? If kids started saying, well, shit. Well, we don't want kids to say that. But if kids started saying, well, dude, Tom Brady is the greatest of all times. Tom Brady focuses his will. Maybe I should learn to focus my will. Tom Brady's the greatest of all times. He uses stones for focus. Maybe I should. Tom Brady's the greatest of all time. He's got an altar. Maybe I should. Wouldn't that be horrible? If all of our kids learned how to focus the power of their intention to be divine, to be sovereign, to be free, to be in control of their entire life, wouldn't that be awful? Instead of them going into churches where they're likely to get buggered, number one, and they're told how empowered they are.
Right? For those who don't know, mantras are a word or sound repeated to aid concentration and meditation, when they're channeling these demons that they become possessed with.
They're channeling demons that they become possessed with. It's stupid. It's not true. But if I could channel and get possessed with whatever got Tom Brady to 6 Super Bowl victories, I might want to hear a little more. If I could be channeled and possessed by what's got Tom Brady living the dream, I might want to hear a little bit more. But of course, it's not about channeling. He's channeling his own will. He's possessed by his own drive and desire to excel. And he's got a woman that loves him, combining her intention with him. And don't think all the kids aren't doing it too. This is the power of combined intention. Hey, idiot. Hey, anonymous, coward. Jesus said, where 2 or 3 are gathered, there am I in the midst. It's called spiritual power. And if you get out of your fear, guilt, control matrix, Ron Jeremy, fear porn, you would understand this. You want to know about channeling? You want to know about possession? Read the book of Romans. Read the book of Romans. No, that's not where I want to go there. You want to know about channeling possession? Read 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 14 and 15. Can't show them to you. You'll have to look at them. Paul said, when I pray in the Spirit, my mind shuts off, but the Spirit channels through me. That's in the book, the original Greek. Take that, you anonymous coward. You want to know what channeling and possession is? Christianity. When you march down an aisle, and you say, I give you my life, come live in my heart. Cover me with your blood. Let me eat your body, drink your blood. That's channeling. That's blood oath. That's possession. You're asking. Come live in my heart. And Plastic Jesus says, I'll come in and I'll bring my daddy with me. You're asking to be possessed. And yet this anonymous coward wants to jump on Tom Brady because Tom Brady is taking his divinity, his sovereignty, and his freedom, and he's living under his own juice, his own power. And he's not letting himself be possessed and sold out to some other failed, flawed deity who's on his way out. And this is the one right here that just made me want to reach through YouTube and grab him by his scrawny neck and slap the Cheeto dust off of his face. Listen to this right here. Boy, this made me so mad. It didn't make me mad. Nobody makes you anything. I chose to get mad when I heard this little pipsqueak say these words. Hope you can hear him. Witches, oh, let's hear the whole thing. Let's hear the whole thing.
We should just eliminate the word pagan, because they use it as another cover. They're like, I'm not a witch, I'm a pagan. I worship trees and nature. Yeah, well, guess what? I piss on trees and nature.
Did you hear this idiot? Pagans and witches are bad because they worship trees and nature. They don't worship trees and nature. They commune with trees and nature. And then this idiot, I want you to hear him say it again. This idiot says,
he's not a pagan, he's a Satanist. We should just eliminate the word pagan, because they use it as another cover. They're like, I'm not a witch, I'm a pagan. I worship trees and nature. Yeah, well, guess what? I piss on trees and nature.
Did you hear that? He says, I piss on trees in nature. Big man pisses on trees. Big man pisses on nature, but not big enough to show his face. He'll anonymously, like a coward, from the shadows, take shots at people, but he won't have the guts to even show up and face the person that he's talking to. And he pisses on nature, and he's proud to piss on nature. Well, let me give you a little Bible instruction, you cowardless, anonymous individual. I'm having a hard time regulating here, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't been in the lake yet. Let me read you something from a little book you might have heard of called the Book of Romans. Let me tell you what you're pissing on. For the invisible things of God through the creation are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even the power of divinity. And because of this, you are without excuse. So you're pissing on the things that are put in this world for you to clearly be able to understand the power of divinity. And it talks about you pissing on these things when it says, because these pissers, even though they should know God, don't glorify him, neither are they thankful, but they're vain in their imaginations. They're pissing on God's stuff. Their foolish hearts are darkened. And professing themselves to be wise, they have become as fools. That's you, cousin. Anonymous, cowardly pisser on the creation, host of whatever the channel's called, A Call for an Uprising. We're about done. Let me show you this, though. I got to hit you with this one because this is just too good. Listen to this, cousins.
I'm yelling because I'm passionate. I'm yelling because I care. I'm yelling because I'm sick and tired of seeing children indoctrinated with Satanism, witchcraft, and the occult.
Really? You're passionate, huh? You're sick and tired of children being in trouble? Well, then why aren't you passionate about 20% of Roman Catholic priests sexually molesting children? Why aren't you passionate about 12% of Roman Protestant ministers sexually abusing children? If you're so damn passionate, why are you Anonymous, if you're so damn passionate, why are you cowardly? And if you're so damn passionate for the children, why are you still supporting the doctrines of a church that 20% of one sect and 12% of another, and this is admitted, these numbers are at least double, are having sex with children, and they're also killing children? I'm in the midst of a series on this channel that you need to come back and listen to. Let's conclude with this, ladies and gentlemen.
Teaching. So we're seeing it all around us, right? Love, love, love. Everybody love. Be tolerant of everything. Be accepting of everything. It's disgusting.
Here's the real key, ladies and gentlemen, and I've slipped out of this a little bit today in this presentation, but Mr. Anonymous, low T, Mr. Lack of testicular fortitude, Mr. Cowardly, won't show my face. Even the Cowardly Lion showed his face. He's telling about, oh, it's all love, love, love. It's all love, love, love. And he says in his own words, all this love, 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 it's disgusting. Really. All this love, 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 it's disgusting. Really? There's a guy named Jesus in the book of John, chapter 13 and verse number 35. He had a little something to say about all this love, love, love stuff. He had a little something to say about this, oh, love, 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 accept, accept, accept. He had a little bit to say about all this stuff that Mr. Anonymous, Mr. Gutless finds so disgusting. Jesus said, by this one thing, by this shall all men know that you are my disciples. By this one thing will all men know that you are my disciples, because you have love. It may be disgusting to you, Mr. Anonymous. It may be disgusting to you, Mr. Coward. It may be disgusting to you, Mr. Lack of testicular fortitude. But it's not disgusting to Jesus. It's not disgusting to the Christ. It's not disgusting to those of us that are trying to follow the ways and the truths that lead to life. It's not disgusting to those of us that have peace that passes all understanding, not like the world gives. And it's not disgusting to those of us that are living life and life more abundantly, just like Tom Brady, just like his wife Giselle, and just like all the rest of us that follow the prescriptions of the book of Proverbs. Those of us that are learning that as a man thinks in his heart, so is his life. Those of us that are learning that the power of life and death is in our tongues. Those of us that are learning that Jesus did great magical, miraculous things, and that we can do those same things and greater. Those of us that are learning that you and your God are lying to us. We're not filled with original sin. We've got the spark of divinity within. Those of us that are learning that your God and the fear and guilt control matrix that he's built is a lie. We are divine. We are sovereign. We are free. And you are not going to take it away from us. Hide if you will. Stay in the shadows if you will. Be anonymous if you will. We're still coming for you. We are the last generation of real humans. We're the next generation of new gods. We've started asking questions. We've started questioning answers. And guess what, cousins? Guess what, cousins? Let me put this up. Let me put this up. We figured out it's a game. And we figured out it's a game that can be won. And we figured out that Tom Brady is the GOAT, even though he doesn't want to admit it. And we may not be the gods of all time, but we're the gods of this time. And ready or not, here we come.